Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana. Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari. Gopijana Girivaradhari Jaya Yamuna Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajanaranjana. Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. That would be scary, huh? If I just picked it up. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 24. Chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text 39. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase. Yes. Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Mataji. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Savasatvatma dehaya Visheshaya staviyase Namastrailokya palaya Saha ojo balaya cha. Sarva, all, sattva, existence, atma, soul, dehaya, unto the body, visheshaya, diversity, staviyase, unto the material world, namaha, offering obeisances, trilokya, three planetary systems, palaya, maintainer, saha, along with, ojaha, prowess, balaya, unto the strength, cha, also. Translation, purport by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. My dear Lord, you are the gigantic universal form which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds. And as such, you maintain the mind, senses, body, and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. As the individual body of the living entity is composed of millions of cells, germs, and microbes, the universal body of the Supreme Lord similarly contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. Lord Shiva is offering his obeisances to the universal body, which includes all other bodies, so that everyone's body may fully engage in devotional service. Since this individual body is composed of senses, all the senses should be engaged in devotional service. For instance, the smelling instrument, the nose, can engage in smelling the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. The hands can engage in cleansing the temple of the Lord, etc. Indeed, being the life air of every living entity, the Lord is the maintainer of the three worlds. Consequently, he can induce every living entity to engage in his real life's duty with full bodily and mental strength. Thus, every living entity should serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his prana, life, atha, wealth, intelligence, and words, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-35. Etava janma safalyam dehinam iha dehisu pranayatai dhyavacha shreya acharanam sada. Even though one may desire to engage in the service of the Lord, without sanction, one cannot do so. Lord Shiva is offering his prayers in so many different ways in order to show the living entities how to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim yad kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum dinatarinam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, 4th Canto, 24th Chapter, Text 39. My dear Lord, you are the gigantic universal form which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds, and as such you maintain the mind, senses, body, and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. The prayers of Lord Shiva are expressing deep appreciation, deep gratitude to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is identifying the Lord to be the universal, gigantic form. He is the universe, and that form of the universe contains all forms of living entities. So the word that comes up quite strongly in the purport is emphasizing the body. The Lord is not formless. He possesses a body. Of course, in his feature as the universal form, then that body is said to be a temporary manifestation. The universal form of the Lord is related to us who have a gross material conception, so that we can be able to fix our minds on a particular form. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was shown this universal form. And upon seeing it, he became very fearful, perturbed. Because here was Krishna, his cousin and friend, and then all of a sudden, he's seeing thousands of mouths and heads. People are rushing into gaping mouths, getting crushed. He's seeing how Krishna is situated as time, as the demigods, as the directions, as all the planetary systems. In this way, Krishna set up like a trap. Anyone who will come in the future and claim to be God, then all right, but you show us also your universal form. And definitely no one can be able to exhibit such a form save and except the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada gives a beautiful example that within our body are so many living entities like microbes and germs, bacteria, etc., and their friends and cousins. They are all in there within this one gross form that we have. So in the same way, micro scale, macro scale is then the Lord's universal body, contains so many bodies with different varieties, elephants, trees, humans, Gandharvas, etc. So in this way, the Lord maintains everyone within his own body. How intimate is that? Just like the mother maintains the child within the womb. Therefore, a close bond is meant to be there between the child and the mother. Lord Brahma, he expressed this. After he had stolen the cowherd boys and it didn't work out, Krishna had showed superior mystic power. Then Lord Brahma is praying to be forgiven. I'm just like a child in your womb. What can a child understand? Because you are containing the entire universe. So don't become angry with me. Just like the baby sometimes is kicking in the womb of the mother. The mother is generally, if they're okay, they don't punch the belly. Hey, what are you doing kicking? In fact, they call others. Come, the baby is kicking. So there's an intimate relationship in that way between the child in the womb and the mother. In a similar way, we are in the womb or in the body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, we should be honoring this relationship that exists. This is all part of how the Lord is maintaining everyone by keeping everyone sheltered. So Lord Shiva is acknowledging that. Then he acknowledges that the power of the mind and the senses, the body, and the life within all these bodies is also coming from the Supreme Lord. Therefore Krishna says, I am the life of all that lives. These are appreciated by those who have some sobriety. Dhiras tatra namoyate. Those who are sober, consider. And of the Dhiras, Lord Shiva is foremost. And therefore he can soberly remind us that all this power that we think we possess through our minds, through our senses, through our bodies, is actually supplied to us by the Lord. And so we should look at any strength. Krishna says, I'm the strength of the strong. I'm the intelligence of the intelligent. I'm even the gambling of cheats. If you see something wonderful there, then understand that all these opulences are coming from me. So this is Krishna consciousness. That nothing is seen outside of the purview of its origin, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore the Lord deserves all honor. Not just because he demands it. You know, modern man feels like God is just this, if he even exists, some person with some inflated ego. Okay, he made us and now he's demanding worship from us. No, actually, anyone who perceives the greatness of God should immediately be humbled. Closeness to greatness brings out humility in us. It happens even when you meet someone, you don't know who they are exactly. You see that people, they are familiar, they talk to them and then they discover, oh, you are the president of the, hey. All of a sudden, because of some great attribute that the person has, then humility. So when the humility doesn't come, when we are hearing about God, then it's really fallen downtrodden person who doesn't feel like that. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada quotes a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 22nd chapter, text 35. This verse is spoken by Krishna after he had performed his pastime of stealing the garments of the gopis. Such a prankster is Krishna. So he's done with that. He gave back the clothes. Now it's off with the boys, you know. Been there, done that. Next, he's walking and he's appreciating the trees. Just see how these trees are benefiting everyone. It was scorching hot. If you know the heat of Govardhan, you can relate. Then you really appreciate. I was saying some of these trees are still on their way. You know, sometimes we smash this charity, just growing trees, building hospitals, until you're sick and you need a hospital. Then you realize, thank Krishna for those who make hospitals. And until you are hot and you need some shade, then you appreciate the people who plant trees. So Krishna is appreciating these trees, that they give their lives to benefit others. And Krishna makes a powerful point that the trees are better off than even the brahmanas who don't perform any welfare work for others. Krishna is foretelling what will happen, because after that, the boys immediately report to Krishna, hey, Baba, stomach is growling, hunger, make a plan. And Krishna says, well, there's some yagya that's going on nearby, let's go and beg from the brahmanas. But Krishna had already hinted that those who don't dedicate their lives, as we're hearing there, prana, atta, diya, vacha, for the welfare of others, what to speak they are called brahmanas. They are more, they're worse off than the trees. The trees are better than them. Because the trees, whoever comes to them doesn't walk away without any benefit. You get shade, you can get fruit. The tree also sometimes is cut down by the very person it has sheltered. And it is the emblem of tolerance. Junada pisuni shena taro iva sahisuna. So this is a call for the devotees, that let us not become distracted by the so-called status of brahmanas, where we are so concerned about our sattvic standards, our pujas, and our vratas, and we neglect the welfare of others. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is our God. He's the one that really came and demonstrated how to live the instructions of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I'm a gardener, and this tree of love of God is now full of so many fruits which are coming from the branches of my trunk. I am the gardener, I am the tree trunk, and for me, the branches and sub-branches of this tree of love of Godhead have spread all across the world and will spread more, from the two primary branches of Nityananda and Shri Advaita Acharya. In this way, this tree of love of God is producing fruit that is very sweet. Very sweet. And I am alone, and how many fruits can I distribute on my own? Therefore, I'm instructing all the men of the world, by men means all human beings, to distribute this fruit of love of God. When they distribute the fruit of love of God, then they themselves become empowered to taste this fruit. So life is meant for service. Not selfish service, but selfless service. If we are not acknowledging the gifts of life, prana, the gifts of wealth, the gifts of intelligence or speech to be what Krishna has given us, then we don't come to the point that we also have to give something to Krishna. Krishna has already given us something, and whatever we have is now meant to be a gift to Krishna. And how do we gift Krishna? By engaging all these in his service. Even though one may desire to engage in the service of the Lord, without sanction one cannot do so. So in a sense, we're being put in our place. We're very insignificant, and there's not much we can do without the sanction of the Lord. Yeah, we're very tiny. Prabhupada would say, such a teeny soul, what can you do? All we have is desire. And how can this soul, which is 1/10,000, the tip of the hair, how can it move even this head? You know, it must be like tons in weight in relation to the soul, just to move your head. But by desire, the Lord has arranged through the demigods that the head can be moved around, the hand can grasp. So noting, again, being given the chance to take the humble position. Say now you even desire to engage in the Lord's service. If the Lord doesn't sanction that, still you cannot do that. Because sometimes then, oh, I am the servant of Krishna, I am engaged, I'm doing devotional service. As if it is one's own strength. Everything in Krishna consciousness must be informed by the mercy which we have received. The spiritual master, the devotees, the parampara, the Lord. We are receiving mercy, and by that mercy we are able to take part. The people, they don't know that the goal of life is to engage their prana, their vacha, their diya in the service of the Lord. Therefore, Shukadev Goswami says, Anatta pasamam sakshat bhakti yoga madokshaje lokasya janato vidvangs chakri satwata samhita. That this Bhagavatam has been spoken just to help the masses who don't know that all these things that we are doing, which are aimed at the welfare of the body, are just superfluous. They are anattas. They have nothing to do with the welfare of the individual soul, really, ultimately. So, because they don't know, they don't take up the linking process of bhakti yoga. Instead, they get lost in trying to chase their own tail. You just keep spinning and spinning in circles. So, we have to get out of the childish mentality. The children, by nature, they want to play, right? It is said in life there are two aspects, shreyas and prayas. Shreyas means ultimately beneficial. Prayas means immediate benefit. So the children are an example of immediate benefit. They don't want to go to school. They want to play even in the rain, in the snow. They don't even care about their own health. They don't want to give up that which is pleasurable to the senses, their play. And the parent has to, hey, come back home. Of course, we see that Krishna himself demonstrated this behavior as a child. And Krishna didn't want to give up his playing with his friends. In fact, the friends sometimes would kind of emotionally blackmail Krishna. That if you go home, then please don't bother to come back and play with us anymore. Why are you such a mama's boy? Because Krishna, as soon as he hears Mother Yashoda, can I? Then, he's torn. That call of Mother Yashoda also is a pull to the heart of Krishna. She is pulling with her Vatsalya Prema. On this side is the boys with their Sakyaras, his friends. Don't go, don't go. So Krishna is always finding himself in difficulty. When to leave home. The bathing takes a bit too long. The cowherd boys, they come in like, come on, let's go. Mother Yashoda is trying to take her time to get him ready to leave. And once he's gone, at home they are missing him dearly. They're always looking out, is he coming? Krishna is the sweetest child. Because the pastimes of Krishna, it is said, of all his pastimes, his childhood pastimes are the best. And we see the reflection of that in how babies are so charming to even grown-ups. You bring a child here and then, everyone is just staring at the baby. Even grown-ups start to act like children. They forget how to speak normally. No. And if you look at it in a detached way, you divorce it from the rasa, it's just madness. What are they doing? Why don't they? You're supposed to train the kid to speak properly. So just speak properly to the child. No, so that sweetness, that innocence is very beautiful. And if you magnify that unlimitedly, then maybe we can perceive a bit of the charm of Shri Krishna. So we are living in the age of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants the distribution to take place. That the point is, he says, alone I cannot do it. Therefore hinting that it's a combined effort to distribute Krishna consciousness. That we should conspire, make plans, alliances, how to distribute this fruit of love of God, this holy name of Krishna. So the devotees, that's their meditation, how to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this service of Gauranga Mahaprabhu is what takes us to Vrindavan. It is said, Yata yata Gaura Padara Vinde, Vindeta Bhaktim Krita Punyarasi, Tata Tato Zapati Rida Kasmat, Radha Padamboja Sudambarasi. That by worshipping Gauranga, by being absorbed in the desires of Gauranga, then that person, without even knowing how it happens, will find themselves rising in the dust of Vrindavan, getting the service of Shrimati Radharani. Radha Padambojo Sudambarasi means Shrimati Radharani is the topmost, dearmost servant of Krishna. And her mood is what Krishna stole. He stole the mood of Shrimati Radharani. Radha Juti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. It is Krishna, but it is Krishna in the mood of Shrimati Radharani with the complexion of Shrimati Radharani. And so what Lord Chaitanya is asking, help me distribute love of God, is Shrimati Radharani, who is the guardian of devotional service, asking, help me. So who is that rascal that doesn't want to serve the lotus feet of Shrimati Radharani? So thinking that I have to focus on this, on that, is ill-informed. In the age of Kali, the avatar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has come. And his service is like a recommendation to Vrindavan. Then Vrindavan, then it's, oh, come. You've got a very nice recommendation from Navadvip. Just like to come to Switzerland, I had to get a recommendation letter that someone in Switzerland wants me to come here. Otherwise, the embassy wouldn't give visa. Where are you going there? What are you going to do there? How are you going to maintain yourself? So, Srila Prabhupada's movement is very uniquely positioned to give the ultimate goal of life, the service of the servants of the servants of the servants of Shrimati Radharani, by taking part in this movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it is a movement of distribution, magnanimity. It is Adbhuta Adorya, Adbhuta Vadanya. Wonderfully merciful, wonderfully liberal and magnanimous. When that spirit of magnanimity is not there, how to give, then you are not really tapping into what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda and his associates, they were going out begging, door to door, offering obeisances before conditioned souls. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dana Pran. Krishna is your mother, Krishna is your father, Krishna is the life of your life. Take Krishna. So is their example not good enough for us? If it isn't, what to do? Then we can take the example of Batman and and Spider-Man in the age of Kali, and Jeff Bezos and all these others who are in the mission of trying to get that which you cannot take with you beyond the grave. It's like trying to catch smoke. We are still waiting for someone to bring us smoke. Soon as you think you have it, you don't have it. That is what meteor energy means. It is that which is not. But what do you mean it is not? It is here. Yes, temporarily. And you are eternal, permanent. So the temporary thing will definitely leave you. Just like the dream is real. In the dream, sometimes you are wealthy. You ever had those dreams where you have money? And then when you wake up, you realize, no, I don't actually have whatever facility I thought I had. Yes. So that's what this life in embodied life means. It seems like something, I've got something. See, and others, yes, you've built an empire. So Lord Shiva, demonstrating deep gratitude, deep appreciation for the Lord's maintenance, for the Lord's protection, for how the Lord is empowering every aspect of the conditioned soul's life. In fact, we are in ourselves part and parcel of Krishna. So how have we gotten this mentality of separateness, this rebellion to cooperate with that which we are part of? It's like the hand that rebelled from putting the food in the mouth. It said that the senses went on a strike. Why are we always putting food in the mouth? The mouth is enjoying with his friend the stomach. The legs, yes, we're doing all the work, walking around. The hands, we are getting it. So we will stop feeding the mouth. Yes. So a few hours went by, half a day, and everyone's starting to feel a little weak. After one day, everyone was just down and out, like Nija Lekadasi. Everyone doesn't have enough energy. But then there was still, at least brain cell was still working. So the mind said, well, maybe we should just go back to feeding the mouth. They went, okay. They put the food in the mouth. And sooner or later, they started to feel strength and nourishment. Because that is the way of all the body parts. If they want to enjoy, they must cooperate to put the food in the mouth and let the food be chewed and digested. Then the energy is distributed. So it's in the same way, the natural way of tasting Ananda. We're looking for Ananda. We're looking for full knowledge. We're looking for eternality. There is no way besides cooperating with the Ananda Murti, Krishna. And that process is Bhakti Yoga. And that Bhakti Yoga has to be practiced and experienced by the practitioner. And then the practitioner has to take it out. Panchatattva, they broke the stores of love of Godhead, and what did they do? They drank and drank and drank. And then they started grabbing others and drowning them in it. So we just want to appreciate all the devotees here at ISKCON Zurich, in the temple, outside, for their efforts to spread Krishna consciousness. Let us not feel satisfied with whatever we're already doing, let us pray for greater strength, that our intelligence comes up with more ways to distribute, that our bodies are strong enough to do the service, that we have life, prana, and the prana comes from preaching, distributing. And in this way, Srila Prabhupada will always be showering his mercy upon the community. And the result will be that we will feel satisfied in our devotional service. In fact, we will become ecstatic, we'll be joyful in our service. And that joyous spirit is what will attract others to our community. They will see that by this chanting, by this hearing, by this dancing, by this feasting, real life of the soul is available. Kantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Haribo. Somber mood. Does anyone have any comment, any question?
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhu. You were saying that we are not the doer, we are actually not doing the service ourselves, but it's because of mercy that we are able to do our service. So my question is, how useful is it that we are doing plans for Krishna to do some service? Is that of any use, or shall we do plans or not? Or
yes. Yeah, Krishna has given that intelligence so that we can be used willingly to serve Him. So, in fact, it is said more than the activity is the intention to please Krishna. Success or failure is generally not always in our hands. Sometimes with all the best planning, all the proper facilities, still something may not succeed. So yes, we should, Prabhupada had this term, tax our brains how to serve Krishna. And Krishna is appreciative because He has said, Man mana bhava man bhakto, always think of me. So while thinking of Krishna, we're thinking how to serve Krishna, how to connect to Krishna, how to please Him. Of course, then it is said, we should plan and work as if everything depends on us. But we should live knowing that everything depends on Krishna. Like the success or failure is in really Krishna's hands, but we should go at it as if I don't get it right, I don't plan it right, it won't go well. And then if it does go right, Jai Krishna. If it goes wrong, I didn't plan nicely, I didn't do it as best as I could. I could have done better. Not that it doesn't go right, it's Krishna Vele, He's in charge. Yeah. Like I remember one devotee said, if Krishna wanted me to stop smoking, He'd make me. Not a blade of grass moves without His sanction. And I said, Prabhu, don't invite Krishna to stop you smoking because He can just take your whole, He can remove your throat, you find yourself with some pipe. Krishna is still trying to let you see that, as Prabhupada told Shamasundar Prabhu, why you put this cigarette in between you and Krishna, your relationship with Krishna. he was carving Jagannath deities. And when he was tired, he would go take a puff, and so he had his cigarettes on top of the deity there. Prabhupada appreciated his service, but then just as merciful Father, why would you make this, put this in between you and Krishna? So he understood, okay, I should give this up. So, yes, please continue to plan how to serve Krishna. Yeah, on that idea of planning. Sometimes it is said like that if you want to make Krishna laugh, tell him your plans. But generally we use that, when we have rascal plans, we plan some rascal leelas. And Krishna, because he cares, sometimes he doesn't fulfill our rascal plans. He says, why should I let you slip out of my service again? And when he gives that special mercy, then really he spoils every material plan you have. But it's really for the special devotees, and that Krishna can take away everything just so that you have no one but him. And it sounds like, oh, now we have no one but Krishna, but hey, there's only Krishna really. So that's the best position. But we may fear that. We think we will lose something if we just give too much to Krishna. Yes.
I was just thinking of, this is a very individual question, or how should I plan? I was remembered of Srila Prabhupada when he was asked by Giriraj Maharaj, how will this movement continue? And he said, by intelligence and organization. And yeah, the other day I was listening to this lecture, and he was saying that a neophyte devotee, or one devotee who's maybe not very advanced, he has to mainly engage his intelligence to make progress. So planning is a function of the intelligence, and yeah, of course, at the same time be detached. But I remember when in the office, I'm not even sure if it's still there, but there used to be a paper, and it used to say, failing to plan means planning to fail.
Yes. Yeah. If you're going to cook some meal, and especially, you cook so many preparations for the Lord, unless you're already like an expert cook, you have to have some menu, and you have to consider what vegetables cook quicker, this or that, and so how to go about the flow of things. Otherwise, when it doesn't come on time, it doesn't cook well, if you're surprised, why Krishna, he doesn't want to accept my service? No, you didn't plan how to serve, so you actually were planning to fail. Yeah, it's a nice.
This example of cooking is very nice. I once also heard the musician, how if you tell a musician, like a good musician, just do something, he can immediately pick up whatever mridanga and sing, and it will be nice. But somebody who might not be a professional musician, if you want to make a nice performance, it's good to put some brain in, like, okay, I practice that. Like when we do kirtan and we are not so experienced, let me practice the melody, and then, or the pranam first, then Jai Shri Krishna. A musician, he doesn't have to practice, he knows where to press the button and what will happen. So